This quick video is going to show you how to set up ratings in your forums so that you can grade each post as you read it. Here you see we have a forum that we're setting up. This works in all of the forum types that I know of that allow grading. I'm just going to keep it as the standard forum for general use. Note this is not an advanced forum. This is just the regular forum in JetNet. I slide down in the settings to get to ratings. Click on ratings. Here you can choose what type of rating aggregation method you want. I use sum of ratings, which allows you to rate each post, and then the points accumulate. They continue to add up unto the maximum points permitted for that particular grade. So choose sum of ratings. In this particular case, I'm going to say that this form is worth 20 points. If you want, you can restrict ratings to a certain time. If you want to do that, click this checkbox. You can categorize your grades just like any time else. Now, note that I'm using the points-based system. There are additional ways to rate. There are scales that you can use. The scale that I think is interesting to use is the thumbs up scale. The thumbs up scale is a non-points based scale that allows you to say thumbs up to a post or great job or things like that. So it's a pre-configured scale in JetNet that you can use. There are others like the satisfactory or unsatisfactory or so on. Some of these are legacy scales that were used at one time. They're no longer used now. But you can use any of them, but I don't remember or I don't know how these are set up. I do know satisfactory and unsatisfactory, ready, not ready, thumbs up, and then of course back to the type. I use points for this because I do want to assign a numerical grade, not a non-numerical grade that doesn't impact the course grade. So again, maximum points. Scroll down when you're ready. You can hit save and display. So now here's my post, my forum, just like you would expect to see it. It gives all of the directions. What I like to do and what I recommend that you do is, along with the directions, publish your grading method or your rubric. In this particular case, I'm saying that this forum is worth up to 20 points. I'm also telling students that by posting multiple times, they can earn the full 20 points. Some people prefer not to do it that way. They want to have a single post that achieves most of the grades and so on. It's up to you how you want to do it. Just communicate it to your students. I make this recommendation that a student should post a minimum of 5 times, but are encouraged to post more. And then here's just one particular rubric that I've used. You can use any that you want, but I'm saying that every post is worth up to 3 points, depending on this simple rubric. 3 points is the post is well written, responds directly and appropriately and correctly to a question raised by the instructor or another student in a way that demonstrates understanding of the material and evidence of investigation into the topic beyond the materials provided by the course. So to earn 3 points, ideally, a post under this rubric would need to perhaps have a link to a high-quality website, perhaps a peer-reviewed journal that shows that the student has investigated the topic even beyond what you provided in the course and is linking that in so that it continues the conversation and expands it. 2 points, which is going to be the normal post. The post is well written, responds directly and appropriately and correctly to a question raised by the instructor or another student in a way that extends the conversation. Key here is it extends the conversation. You don't want posts that just stop a good thread from going, or don't really add to the thread by saying I agree or hey, right on. That doesn't really extend the conversation. 1 point is the post attempts to respond directly and appropriately, but maybe too wordy, not well constructed, or in other ways does not substantially add to the discussion. And then 0 points would be a post that does not attempt to respond in any meaningful way. And the nice thing about 0 points is it lets you put the 0 in. It communicates to the student that this post does not meet your standards, and you don't have to worry about have you graded it, because that 0 will be there showing you that you have graded it. So here we already have a post from Perfect Any Student. So let's go in and look at that post. So Perfect says postmodernism has both potential positive and negative aspects. Positive is intellectually free and acceptance of diverse ways of thinking and expression. However, this is also its main negative. because of the relative unbounded nature of postmodernism, it can be hard to discern the difference between brilliant expression and posing. You know what? I think he has made his point by making his point. I'm going to say this one is about a 2. It doesn't really add new information to there, but it's well written, and I think it's the kind of post that would extend the conversation. I think students would read that and go, hey, I'm calling you out. You didn't really add anything here. You kind of were reiterating your first line, positive and negative, by saying it's an intellectually diverse, but it's negative. It's kind of a playful post, one that I think people would respond to, and we would draw out an interesting conversation about. So once you hit that, that post now has been rated as a 2. The student will see that, other students won't, and it will be in the grade. Now that 2 isn't his maximum grade, because anything that he posts in the future, you will also be able to rate as you do it. The nice thing about the rating system, from my perspective, is that it simplifies my task. As I'm reading, I can grade. As I'm grading, I can also reply. And then I don't have to come back to this forum at the end of the time of the forum, normally about a week, and then reread everything and try to evaluate the student's performance in here. I can evaluate as I am reading. It saves me time in my class, which is something that good technology should be able to do. As always, if you have any questions, you know how to reach me.